Every military service has its highly trained special forces. The Navy has its SEALs, the Marines their Force Recon, and the Army has their Rangers and Green Berets. The Air Force is no different. The group of highly trained airmen who are responsible for taking airfields, rescuing downed pilots, and operating behind enemy lines are called Air Commandos, and they train at Hurlburt Field in Florida. Staff Sergeant Harry Kibbe spent some time with the Commandos and shares their history, their future, and what makes Air Force Special Operations so special.
The history of the Air Commandos dates back to 1944, when the first Air Commando Group was officially constituted. Since then, the Air Commandos have made it their duty to utilize their warfighting and life-saving skills anytime and any place.
We chased and shot up trucks on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. And if you don't know it, the Ho Chi Minh Trail was the means of supplying the Viet Cong in South Vietnam. It ran out of North Vietnam, through Laos, into South Vietnam. And they supplied them with great strength and integrity and courage. And we would shoot the trucks up and try to kill them at night. In the daytime, the defenses were too strong for us to operate. And that was the most exciting experience of my career of 29 years.
The Commandos have been called upon to employ their unique skills in battles from World War II to Vietnam and all the way through to today's operations in the war on terrorism.
I've been to many places in the world. A lot of them were not very good places. They were not places you would ever buy a ticket to visit, but there were jobs that just had to be done.
Along the way, they've been responsible for a number of U.S. military firsts. Air Commandos were the first air unit designed to support a ground unit. They provided the first nighttime heavy glider assault landing, and they were the first military unit to employ helicopters in combat. The Air Commando heritage is a rich and storied one, which a select group of airmen strive to be a part of, and a heritage that today's commandos treat with the utmost respect.
Every special tactics unit has a heritage hall, and every day you walk through doors, you see the guys that went before you, and it's kind of, you just want to live up to what the people in front of you did. I mean, even some of the older guys that you work with, you know, they set the standards. You kind of want to live up to their reputation.
Before getting the chance to live up to that reputation, Air Commandos must successfully complete some of the most physically rigorous and mentally challenging training in the Air Force.
Would rather see them be a wolf than a sheep. I'd rather see them adapt and overcome to any situation underwater that may be thrown at them.
What we're looking for is a guy who wants to run toward the sound of gunfire, who wants to be in that environment.
To find that guy, instructors use advanced skills training, both on land and in water. They draw on the experience of present and former commandos to mold these young airmen into the warriors that they are working to become.
They're interacting with the students on a daily basis, you know, not only the academics and not only the day-to-day training, but, you know, when there's any kind of, you know, lull in the training, we actually speak from experience. We can tie in what they're doing from any given moment to some kind of experience that we've had on the battlefield.
And that adds something to the course that you just can't get from somebody who hasn't been there, who spent 20 plus years in the business. He's able to pass on that knowledge, that experience, learned in another place at another time. And again, once you enter into special tactics, you tend to stay involved in special tactics even after your active duty days are over.
The instructors make sure that they get the best from their students, because many lives could depend on their work.
The ability that you have to shape the battlefield as an E4 or as an E5, it's incredible. The amount of firepower that you can control, the amount of good that you can do, rescuing your fellow soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, not to mention civilian personnel. That's what makes it rewarding.
Once their initial training is complete, the airmen of the Air Force Special Operations Command are often the first airmen to employ the newest high-tech equipment in the Air Force arsenal.
The CV-22 allows us to hover over a landing zone and land in place, take off, and then fly like a C-130 at similar speeds. It has maneuver, it has all the capabilities that our Talon and Fablo fleets have. The big thing is we can move at great distances fast, which allows us to do more operations or more difficult operations in a single period of darkness.
To have an airplane that will fly 250 knots, pull into a hover, and land exactly where you need it to land on the battlefield with 18 combat-loaded air commandos or Special Forces troops or Navy SEALs is just incredible.
Air Commandos are also using the latest in unmanned aerial vehicle technology to get a bird's-eye view of the enemy's position.
When we need an eye in the sky, or it would be beneficial to have an eye in the sky, but using a theater asset isn't appropriate or isn't available, you've got this in your kit that you can pull out and throw it up in the air and get a right now eye in the sky view of whatever you're looking at.
Thanks to their extensive training and tools like these, many Air Commandos get a unique experience that they'd never dreamed they'd have.
From my first trip to my second trip in Afghanistan, just seeing the difference it's made in the people and the infrastructure and the way things are going in Afghanistan, it's just knowing that you make a difference and being able to actually see that firsthand is great.
There's little doubt that these airmen exemplify the term air warrior. So what is it that makes the airmen of Special Operations so special?
Pretty much everyone that's in Special Ops is dedicated and willing to go above and beyond to get the job done.
You won't find in this group, no matter what the AFSC is, anybody saying that's not my job. The job requires everyone to come together as a team and make the mission happen.
What they do here, they may not do anyplace else in the Air Force. People may not understand what they do here. So the person that stays here and makes SOF a career or spends a number of years in SOF, they have to understand that they know it's important, and that's why they need to do it here.
It's competition, it's enthusiasm, motivation, and the desire to go out there and prosecute the nation's missions to the best of their ability, whatever it may be.
Here in Special Ops, we've got so many enlisted crew positions and gung-ho positions. The Special Tactics people are primarily enlisted folks, and that is really what's great and inspiring to young people, especially in enlisted ranks, who want a daunting, challenging career.
The force we're feeling right now on the battlefield has never been better. We've never been more combat experienced or combat capable down to the senior airman level. And I think it portends well for the future. The experience we're garnering on the battlefield right now is related directly to our training. We take lessons learned from the battlefield and we immediately incorporate them in our training and to make our people aware of what the enemy's doing forward.
The airmen of the Air Force Special Operations Command continue to carry on the rich heritage of diligence, ingenuity, and courage that their predecessors have instilled since their inception. Staff Sergeant Harry Kibbe, Hurlburt Field, Florida.
If you're interested in becoming an Air Commando, you can contact your chain of command or your base retraining office.